in terms of the negotiation telephonically. They've made strides, but I'm not sure if they ever get there.
President Trump earlier talking about negotiations with Iran as Israel is threatening to resume strikes on Iran if the conflict resumes. Let's bring in Michael Oren, former Israeli ambassador to the United States. Mr. Ambassador, always good to spend time with you. Thank you for joining us this Friday afternoon. So in terms of any renewed strikes on Iran, I assume that Israel would either need approval or the participation of the United States. What are you hearing in that regard?
Good to hear. Good to be with you, John. As always, I think it's just the other way around. The IDF is now on high alert tonight. The Israeli Defense Forces waiting the word from President Trump to see whether President Trump will renew the hostilities against Iran. I don't think Israel's going to be the first to pull the trigger here. And even if it were, you're right. Israel wouldn't do it without very close cooperation and a very bright green light from the White House. But as far as we in Israel understand it, we're waiting on the word from the White House.
So what's your thoughts on, if hostilities were to resume, what targets would be gone after?
Well, I think at this time that they would target the energy sources, the power plants, the oil refinery centers, what wasn't targeted last time on Karg Island, and great emphasis put on opening up the Iranian blockade of the Hormuz Straits. That is knocking out the shore batteries. There are apparently hundreds, if not more, of these light craft that belong to the IRGC. The United States was very successful in sinking the Iranian Navy, its official Navy, but there's an unofficial Navy of small craft that can carry explosives. They can do like suicide boats. And if you've got 50 of those coming out an aircraft carrier, it's going to be a challenge. So I think that's the opportunity to strike along the coast of the Strait of Hormuz and open it up.
Although the United States Navy does have a lot of expertise and experience in taking out small boats that are traveling fast on the open ocean. The president seems to be banking, at least for the moment, that this blockade is going to squeeze Iran to the point where it will capitulate. Here's what the Wall Street Journal wrote about it. A growing camp of hardliners believe Iran has to take the military initiative and start a shooting war again to send oil prices soaring higher and increase the pressure on Trump. They argue that the blockade goes beyond the sanctions that Iran has faced down in the past and amounts to an act of war that must have a military response. So according to the Wall Street Journal, it might be the Iranians that start shooting first.
Well, I read that this morning, and I thought to myself, Dirty Harry. And we're of an age, right, John? You remember the Dirty Harry movies? Go ahead, pull the trigger. Pull the trigger, make my day.
Yep.
And nobody can complain to Israel or the United States if Iran starts firing at us once again. And we take countermeasures. And those countermeasures just happen to knock out what remains of Iran's oil industry and energy producing sites. So, again, Dirty Harry, make my day.
Yeah, well, and Dirty Harry asks, I know what you're saying to yourself. Did he fire 5 bullets or 6? You want to try? So Iran appears to be weighing its options in terms of military action. Here's what the Wall Street Journal wrote. Iranian officials said Tehran could use previously unused weapons to attack U.S. warships, from submarines to mine-carrying dolphins. I don't know that they have any submarines, though. The Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps has threatened to step up escalation by cutting phone cables in the Strait of Hormuz, which would disrupt internet traffic globally. I'm not sure what runs across the Strait of Hormuz that would connect the global internet, but, I mean, when you take a look at that, it sounds like Iran is thinking about what do they do if they start hostilities again. And it may not be good.
But you have to assume they're not going to go darkly into that night. They like that quietly into that dark night. For them, this is an existential battle. It's an existential battle, say, politically, for the president, for the Republican Party, and if they may lose those midterm elections. But if the Iranian regime loses the war, they're going to lose their lives. Yeah. The families of the 30,000 Iranians that they massacred back in January, they're going to come after them. So for them, they're going to pull out any stop they have, any type of out-of-the-box military action they're going to throw at the United States and throw at Israel. We have to be ready for it, and we have to redouble our retaliation against these steps and make it just completely punishing for the Iranian regime. So in addition to the economic pressure, which is extremely painful for them, they're losing between $300 and $500 million a day in oil income through the blockade of the Straits. And the economy was on the verge of collapse before the war. And the rial, the Iranian currency, is worth nothing, literally worth nothing. This may just bring this regime to the negotiation table in a realistic way to meet the demands of President Trump and of Prime Minister Netanyahu.
Well, that would be a good thing for the end of the war and for the economy, but I'm not sure how good that would be for the Iranian people in the long run. Michael
That's
Oren,
the sad part, certainly.
Yeah, always great to spend time with you, sir. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you, John.
Sandra?
All right.